Hey there, and welcome back to Q&A the Librarian Way. I'm Julia from Stylish in the Stacks.
I'm Emily from the Gnoming Librarian.
And this is Mike Mullin. We promised you a guest last time we filmed, and here he is. So, author of the Ashfall trilogy. And so we're just going to talk today about having an author visit. Mike is at my school today, and so we're just taking some time out to chat. This is my first author visit, so I don't know if I'm really an expert in talking about this topic. So Mike can tell you anything I'm doing wrong, or anything I'm doing great, I guess. But we're just going to talk about...
More chocolate.
Yeah, yeah. There has been no chocolate today.
Kidding.
Sorry.
No.
About just how to plan a successful author visit, so which I know you talk about on your website as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I know the public library has had quite a few authors.
We have kind of hit and miss success with authors. Our community really isn't a everybody come to the library to meet the author kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we try our best to involve it in a program where we're getting people anyway. And I believe Mike came when we were doing stuff with National Novel Writing Month. Mm-hmm. So we kind of blended our author visits into that. Yeah. So that's one thing you might consider, that if your library does have trouble bringing in people, try to create an event where it's conducive to it. So it's not just, that they're a part of something bigger as well.
Yeah. And this is my 7th year here, and it is my first author visit, and part of that reason is because our school didn't have a chance to bring the entire school body together for an author event. And so we decided to just make it small little presentations and segments. And so Mike's speaking with my library students today, but also a couple of English classes that just did a survival unit and read Ashfall as part of that survival unit. So sometimes breaking it into smaller groups works well too, and authors tend to do both.
So what have you noticed has worked the best? Like when you walk into a school, what do you kind of like to see?
Well, there's two. Public libraries and school librarians have a very different challenge, right? In the public library, it's turning out attendees is a big trick. Unless you're having J.K. Rowling or something, in which case the fire marshal's going to be a problem. Yeah, but it's turning out attendees, and the public libraries that really do the best with that are the ones who are out in the schools all the time, who are out there book talking up the authors. One of the programs I really admire, Stacy Terrell at the Anderson Public Library does an amazing program, and the way she turns out 250, 70 students on a Saturday morning is by getting a grant, buying the books ahead of time. For mine, she bought Ashfall in the paperback, which you can get as a librarian for $5.50, $6 in bulk. And then going out to schools, book talking it, and basically saying, if you will promise to come to read the book and come to the program, you may have a free book. And then giving them away, and about half those kids actually do keep the promise, read the book and show up. She also feeds them pizza, of course, which never hurts.
If you feed them, they will come.
Yeah. But so that's an amazing program. And the schools, it's just really great if you can get your teachers and the rest of the staff and administration involved. Like, I noticed the English teachers here. We had an English teacher. I've only given one presentation so far today. We had an English teacher come from down the hall just to see it in his prep time because he was enthusiastic about it and involved, and I know that's something that Julia did, right? So it's just important to get everybody on board with what's the value to us of this author visit, what's the value to the school, and that excitement then I think communicates itself to the students.
Yeah, and we are planning a staff lunch today just so that the staff has a chance to meet Mike, and so we really emphasize that you don't have to read the book ahead of time in order to come meet the author and talk to him, and even I think presentation-wise, students didn't have to read Ashfall in order to follow along and get something from your presentation, which I think might be one reason why some people don't have authors visit. You think everyone has to read the book or read the whole series, and that's not necessarily the case.
No, check the author's website, ask the author. Some authors are more comfortable presenting to groups of students who have read the book, or I'm fine personally, I just walk into a room of people who've never heard of me and entertaining them for an hour because, it's something I've practiced a lot, my
Yeah.
public speaking, and well, you've seen me a couple times,
Right,
so
right.
I've gotten pretty good at
Exactly,
it. I
that's
think.
right.
Yeah, so.
It'll be kind of interesting to see how many kids run down to get the book now,
Yes,
the ones that haven't
yeah.
read it. Like,
Right.
it's just the enthusiasm and the excitement of the event and meeting the
Mhm.
author will bring people to the books then, which is
Exactly.
really neat as well. I mean, that
Yeah.
happened with us in Yale Fest. I've now
Right.
read, books from authors that I had
Right.
never read before,
Mhm.
but I had the opportunity to meet, so.
Yeah.
Normally, there's a long hold list after I've
Mhm.
spoken somewhere.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
great. That's what we
really
want.
neat.
What has been your favorite, as you meet authors, who have you met that you felt is really dynamic and does a really great job with presentations?
And, I really enjoyed Michael Grant's presentation. I saw him present at Ben Davis. And I guess I enjoyed it so much in part just because that man has no filter whatsoever. I mean, he was the funniest thing. I mean, he will say anything, which is kind of scary if you're a librarian inviting
Sure.
him. But he's like, somebody asked him, what finally, why he became an author, or what finally gave him the motivation to get serious about his writing. He says, like, well, I just didn't have any motivation at all until I put down the bomb. And so he's up there in front of this huge auditorium of high school students talking about smoking.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm
That's
just thinking,
great.
God love him.
Yeah. He reached every student at that time.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
it actually was not a bad message at all. It was a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good message. I just could see the librarian like
Yes, yeah. Is my
freaking
principal
out a
in the
little
room?
bit. Yeah. So I don't know. I love that he's just kind of completely.
Yeah.
I sort of trained with Katie Mackay, who does
Oh, yeah.
younger kids, mostly elementary school. I shadowed her for a day and watched her do author presentations, and she's brilliant at it. Oh, it's just
that's neat.
even better than I am. And I watched her do it, and then I borrowed techniques I saw her use. Like she starts the presentation the moment the first kid walks in the room.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? Well, I
Yeah.
can't do it the same way Katie Mackay does it because my
Yeah.
books aren't the same, my audience isn't the same age of the kids.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with let's challenge them to break a board.
Yes, which I found
Shtick.
so effective because you're right. I mean, the moment the first student walked in the class today, you were interacting with them. And that's, so many presentations that I go to, you just see the speaker kind of standing off to the side, waiting until they're introduced. And so I think that made a huge difference in getting the students to invest in you.
Yeah. And if you have their attention right from the get-go, you
Yeah.
never have to work to get it
Exactly.
later.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's just,
That's right.
Yeah, and then the other nice thing about that is sometimes, I'll speak with audiences where the kids have, been warned to be good or else,
yeah.
and they're really nervous, and especially teenagers are very reticent around their peers,
Right.
and so sometimes it's really hard to get them involved, and,
Yeah.
and I find that let's break the board
Yeah.
and get charged up right at the beginning really
Exactly.
helps bring them out of their shells and get them involved with the talk,
Yeah.
which makes it more fun for all of us.
Definitely, yeah. Well, my library students took the entire semester to read Ashfall. We took it a little bit at a time, and we did some writing to go along with it and some projects, and so we tried to really display those in the library to get the kids excited. It's been a build-up all semester.
And to keep
he's
it
coming,
fresh,
he's coming,
yeah,
he's
to
coming.
keep it
yeah.
fresh and kind of
Different
always
ways
in their
we can
mind.
do things, and there's so many little projects that you can do. Like we made what's called picture formulas. So we took someone took a happy face plus a volcano eruption equals a sad face. So you take a chapter of the book and you make some kind of formula to show off, what happened in that chapter. And the kids had a blast with that. That was neat. We made keep calm and make corn pone. We made different keep calm signs, and some of those projects were fun. Kept the kids excited. And
It's all the
ready to go.
bookmarks they made too,
Yes,
and that was
yes.
really interesting. And I signed a whole bunch of these handmade bookmarks this morning. It was really cool because they all chose a quote from the book, and it was fascinating to see
Yeah.
the different quotes they
Yes.
picked. I mean,
Serious, funny, or
yeah,
Yeah.
and some of them I hadn't, things that I hadn't really read or thought about in quite some time showed up on those bookmarks.
yeah.
Which, because I don't reread my own work. I'd be crossing, I'd
Yeah.
be changing stuff.
Right.
And you just can't do that once the book's printed. Not
Yeah.
wholesale.
I found when we made some posters, I found that my students' favorite quotes tended to be things that Darla said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, wait a minute. We can't put that on a poster, for everybody to see. We walk in and she's talking about Alex and, Well, I don't want to say things on camera.
I've seen better equipment on goats.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Nice.
Exactly what I'm like.
I would totally put that on a poster.
I'm like, I can't let the superintendent see this when he
Yeah,
walks in.
I got you. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, you knew exactly which one.
Yeah,
Carla
yeah.
has some great lines.
She does.
Yeah. What other thoughts? Anything? Okay.
We weren't really prepared.
We weren't. We were just excited to meet Mike.
Excited to have Mike here. And
Authors are like
interview
celebrities to us, and
I mean, the coolest thing, the thing I would want to leave your viewers with the most is just do it. Just have
Yeah,
authors
I
in.
agree.
I mean, there's a lot of research that suggests that schools and students are becoming less creative over time as the test pressure intensifies. We spend more and more of our time on test prep and rote learning, and honestly, that's not preparing them well for the future. The jobs of the future will be creative jobs. All the rote jobs, all the boring jobs are going away. Semi-trucks are going to drive themselves soon, and cashiers are rapidly becoming obsolete. The jobs that will remain are the writers, the artists, the actors, the people, graphic designers, the people who tell stories and help communicate. And those jobs take creativity. And one of the things I can do as an author coming into a school is explain a little bit about what it takes to make it in a creative career. And that's what a lot of my How Taekwondo is Like Writing talk is about. And I think that's really important because frankly I think our schools have taken a left turn into the wrong direction. Sorry. I'm editorializing. Probably not supposed to editorialize. But really, I mean, you never, I mean, how often have you had to do a bubble test for a job?
Right?
Yeah. Me, twice. And I've had like 12 different careers. And twice I've done tests. And those were both really easy pre-employment tests. It's just, testing is not a skill you need to be successful in
and
life.
I think
but
teachers
creativity
agree with that.
is.
Yes, I think teachers agree with that, and we just feel like we're stuck sometimes in this system.
Yeah, you're trapped under the political system.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so, having an author, showing them that this is possible. It's possible to make a good living and really love your work and do something creative. I think is so important, and I just really thank and respect those of you who still spend the time at it, despite the ridiculous political pressures the whole teaching profession's under now. And I include librarians in that. I think that's fair.
Definitely. Well, and I just think exposing students to an author at least once in their lifetime is just such a valuable experience.
Absolutely.
And showing them that there's awesome right in your backyard. I mean, the fact that you didn't have to travel very far to get to, I mean, there's people in your community
and
that
I was shocked
great
how
and can
many
share with you
librarians
that
there
way.
are in Indiana or the Kentucky area or nearby. I mean, I know it can be nerve-wracking to plan a trip for an author to come visit and travel plans and hotel plans and that sort of thing, but there are so many authors just in their backyard. So.
If you want me to visit, it's super easy.
It is. And let me say,
I do all the travel planning.
Mike has been super easy to work with. Like, I even smack talk him on Twitter sometimes. He favorites it. So, so no, you have been a great first experience. I feel like I can do it again, which that should be the goal, right? We should want to do it again. So.
Absolutely. I try to, I just try to give everybody a great experience and have fun and enjoy it, because I enjoy it. I like speaking with readers and librarians and teachers. It's just, there's no downside to that.
Exactly. Well, you can always check out Mike's website and email him, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. You told the students to email you today, so I figured you don't care about anyone else.
My website is MikeMullinAuthor.com, and you click on the Author Visits tab if you want more information about author visits. There's some good general stuff linked there, too, that would apply to all kinds of authors.
I got
and
some
then my email is mike@MikeMullinAuthor.com.
And he gets back with you right away.
Yeah, usually. Sometimes I'm a few days behind, but usually.
You've been great.
I try.
Yeah. All right, well, we will see you next week. We haven't done our ILF video yet, so we'll probably do that next week. And make sure that you leave questions or comments below. And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Good. Okay, are you ready? Are you starting or am I starting? Okay. I think I started last week.
That's all right.
Whatever. Okay.
Well, I'll start. Hi, I'm Mike Mullin.
You're watching.
You're watching a show that I don't know the name of.